Hey guys, it's Whiffy here at Blue Unicorn Gaming. Hope you're all doing well today. And I bought something the other day and I want to talk a little bit about it. I bought an Xbox Elite Controller Series 2. A little bit pricey, $180 at Best Buy and Amazon. It took a little bit to get here because there's none in the stores apparently. But I'm holding it right here. So, I don't have an Xbox anymore. I gave it away to a friend. I don't play on it ever. It was kind of wasting space for me. He really wanted one, so I gave it to him. And recently I've been wanting to use a controller to play some games such as Torchlight 3, X4, Foundation, couple other random games that I play that I just feel work better with a controller. So I decided to go out and buy one. Now, I could have bought a regular Xbox controller, but I've been wanting a series or Elite Series controller since I had my Xbox, really, when they came out. I just never got around to pulling the trigger on buying it. So, I want to kind of go over a little bit about this controller, some problems I had, and just general thoughts on the controller with a PC and not an Xbox very specifically. So first off, the controller here comes in a nice, good carrying case. This carrying case is absolutely wonderful for it. And you know what? I've never seen a case that's actually this hard. I mean, this is a nice hard case overall. On the back of the case, you have a little string, so you have a little holder for it, so you can just pick it up and connect to something and have it really held on a chain, maybe. Whatever you want to do with it. But also, I didn't notice this originally. There's a little plastic piece right here. I think you can see it if I go to zoom in for you. A little plastic piece right here that flips up. And if I can get a good angle on it, you can see kind of that there is a USB-C port in the back of this. And this is absolutely wonderful. So this USB-C port allows me to charge my controller, but not by plugging it in. And this is an issue that I'm going to bring up later on with plugging the controller in as I walk through things with you. So, what do I mean by that? Let's just go ahead and open it up here. So when you open this up, you see the controller sitting right inside of it. Take the controller off of that and you see a nice little station for it. And you can see the controller coming right on these pads here. And on the back controller, very similar, little spot for it. And you can charge your controller wirelessly without having to worry about plugging it into your computer, plugging it into an outlet. You leave this thing plugged in all day and you just set it in it when you're done. So, a little bit more about this controller. A lot of things I like about this controller. It's a little weighty. It's very weighty. It feels good in my hand. I would like it to be a little bit bigger, but not a big complaint. It's standard size of an Xbox 360 controller, so not terribly bad overall. Looking at the controller, some of the special features, of course, are the ability to just remove your joysticks and your D-pad and replace it with other ones there. You also have triggers here on the back. These are also just easily removable. Pops right off when you're done with it. Magnetizes right back in, and you're good to go. These on the back here represent your the A, B, Y, X buttons on the face of the controller as well. So personally for me, some games, I don't want to have to sit here and hit the A button to do what I need to do, such as Torchlight 3, for example. I tap the back of this, and I can then utilize my ability in my A slot, which I think is basic attack. Inside of the case, you also get all the additional buttons that you would like. Let's go over them right here. So right here, you have your D-pad replacement. This just comes right out. As you can see, it fits right. If we can focus, there we go. Fits right in the spot for your D-pad on your controller. and I can't get it back in. I apologize for that. And this is a little bit different of a D-pad. I don't use it personally. I don't like it too much, but it does do what it's supposed to do. You have a joystick here. This actually is pulled out a little bit, which is kind of interesting overall. You have a couple other joysticks on the other side here that you can replace. This one is actually taller. Let me pull that out for you so you can get a better look at it. This is actually a taller joystick than all the others you have, as you can see there, which is an interesting feature overall. And then you have this little tool here. This little tool, if I can find a spot to slide it back in, is actually what you would use when you are tightening your analog settings. So if I take both my joysticks out of my controller, you will see, a decent view on it here, you will see right inside of here there is a little cross. It has 3 twists to it. You twist each of those. It starts off at the loosest, which is your standard Xbox One settings. When you twist it once, you get a nice middle ground setting. And all that means is your joysticks take a little more effort to move. They're not as slidey as before. You turn it all the way over to the right hand side, and you have Xbox 360 settings, which are my personal favorite. I like that being harder. I like more resistance. Makes me overall like the controller a little bit more. But what else about this controller is unique? Why should you buy it? Or why should you even consider it? It has Bluetooth built in. Now, I'm going to get into the Bluetooth settings later on with this as we go through the controller's connection. So, with that being said, let's talk about when you first get this controller. The first thing you need to do is go to your Microsoft Store, or whatever the hell it's called these days, and you need to download the app called Xbox Accessories. You then need to plug your controller in with the supplied USB-C connector, or if you have one of your own plugged in your computer already, you could utilize that. Plug your controller right into it, and it will show up right inside. Let's go on over, take a look and see what this looks like. So here you have your accessories button. You have everything you need within here. Now, one of the first things you're going to do is automatically upgrade your firmware. This is mandatory. You're going to have issues if you don't. It fixes a bunch of little bugs with it. I ran into a lot of firmware problems until I upgraded, and all of a sudden they just kind of dropped off. So it gives you a nice little layout of what those back buttons are, X, Y, B, A, so you know which buttons you're hitting against these. It shows you the little button right in the middle here, which I did not talk about, that separates your profiles. So you have different profiles, and if you hit the button here, it will actually switch you to them right inside the software itself. You can hit this little 3 dots here, check your firmware updates. I'm going to exit that because there's no firmware updates available this time. You can rename. Mine is just mine. I didn't think of anything. Or you can buzz it. Test the vibration functions. I'm not sure what Copilot is. It's not there, but I'm assuming it allows you to do split screen. So you have some other settings here as well. If you go to configure, you can now start to really play with your settings. So I named this profile base. You can create new ones as well over at defaults. So let's go to slot 2. Slot 2 just moves it down, and slot 3 excuse me, slot 3 again moves it back down, but I'm going to put this back to slot 1 for my own sake. You have your ability to rename this here. You can rename the profile. You can copy, you can delete it right from there. You can also do a test. You can also do a test mode once you're back to main screen by clicking the test button right here. So let's enter test mode. Weird.
we go. So you can see what directions I'm going with this. Pushing it up on the joystick, down. This back button. Just so you know where all your settings are living. So now that you got the basics for the controller, let's go in and actually edit pieces on the controller. So come back over here and click Configure. And this little pen up here that I mentioned before, this is your configurations. Let's go on in. You can see here what each of these buttons does. You know exactly what they're doing. For the mappings, you can change sensitivity on your left stick. You can change sensitivity on your right stick. You can change your calculations on it. The triggers you can change to adjust dead zones, so you can, I don't know, hold a button in a little longer and not have anything occur. You can change vibration. How hard do you want to vibrate in certain areas? You can change the brightness of the Xbox button. So if you want it to be a lot less bright, bring it on down, and that will match on the controller. Mine is now very dim. Bring it back up. It's back up to max. I have not changed anything here. I do plan to do that. Actually, I'm sorry, no, I did. I swapped a few of these buttons around because I didn't like where they were. Now, for certain games such as Grand Theft Auto, where you have to hit a different bumper in order to shoot while you're driving, I would change some of these buttons around, and I think I'm going to do that later on. You know what? Let's switch profiles here. Create a new profile and call this GTA or GAT. So GTA 5. Immediately brings me into the mappings. You see my Y, my X, my A. So let's see here. My Y would be here. Oh crap, I don't want to do any of that there. My Y and my A are backward, or are in separate spots. So that's fine. I can leave those where they are. For the most part, let's make my A where my Y is. I have no shift button, so I'm just gonna make those both A. X can be my Y. You know what? No, I'll leave X the X. I'm just gonna leave it where it is. Make A the Y button. And this is just early mapping, so I know where I'm at. Okay, so on this D-pad, I actually don't want a Y button there, but I don't want my X button there either. So I'm going to make this X button my, and I believe that is the right bumper. And if I shift it, it can be in the X button. That's not a problem. So that will be my right bumper. And shift to X. Y can be exactly where it is. So now I have the ability to hold in my right trigger, or my left trigger, and shoot with my right bumper when I'm ready. And I'm going to leave that where it is. Everything else is fine for me. Back it away. And we are going to assign this slot 2. And now my configuration is saved. I now have a GTA profile. I'm sure I'll edit that more later on. I normally do. And now we're back to the main screen. And that's everything with configuring this. Now here's one downside. Before I go into the registration of the controller or anything like that, this is one major negative about the controller that I have. Once you finish, you unplug it as you normally would. And now I cannot reconnect to Bluetooth immediately. And let's go on over here and take a look at my Bluetooth for this. Let's go ahead and take a look at the Bluetooth here. You see all my devices sitting right inside of here. You see Xbox 360 controller paired, but there's absolutely no way to add it as a device. So So now I have to remove it from here. Once it removes, I also have to hit the button right on top here. You see the button right there. Hold this in until this blinks rapidly, like it is now. Now it's blinked rapidly. I can then go back up, add Bluetooth or other device, Bluetooth, wait for it to find my controller, and reconnect it. You have to do that every single time. Every time that you decide that you want to, unfortunately, switch back to the controller itself. Switch back to, unfortunately, you have to do that every time you want to switch back to Bluetooth itself.
Which is a little bit annoying. I know a lot of people don't like doing that. I don't see why you just can't reconfigure it. It already knows the controller is there. It doesn't change anything about the controller, but that's what it does. So that's a major downside about the controller. Another issue that I've seen, and I haven't seen happen as often recently, as I'm getting closer to my tower with Bluetooth, is that in Minecraft Dungeons specifically, it's the game I saw it the worst in, saw it here and there in Torchlight, but really nowhere else, was it will make the game lag for a second, drop connection, reconnect, and you're pretty much dead. Because it drops frame rate down to maybe 2 frames a second. That is a major flaw. It's been reported for almost a year now, and Microsoft does need to fix that quickly. But let's go here to your registration. So you want to register your controller so you can see how much time's left on the warranty for it, you can contact support easier, and you can get some help. Let's go ahead and dive on into that. So now we have our support page. Excuse me. We have our support page. You're going to go to account.microsoft.com/devices. I'll put the link here in the description box below. From here, you'll have all of your devices registered to your Microsoft account, including your Xbox, if you have a Windows Phone, anything like that. You can see I have my other PCs here, my controller in the middle. I'm not going to remove this in case I couldn't re-add it for whatever reason, but adding is very easy. Once you are on this page, you just go to Don't See Your Devices, hit the plus button, and ask you for your serial number. Your serial number you can very easily find on the bottom of your box. I'm not going to show you mine because it's registered, and well, I'm not an idiot that way. But you put your state, you put that in here, accept terms, hit confirm, and it'll populate here as long as you've typed the serial number correctly. Now with that being said, I like my controller. I think it's a lot of fun. There are some bugs that need fixed. Microsoft has not addressed some of them. I've read complaints of controller drift or joystick drift after a few weeks of use. And Microsoft has been very forthcoming with fixes for this. I just hope that they do actually put a fix onto the controller to fix this problem. It seems to be an issue with a bad batch of controllers, but it's hard to figure out if the batch is still active or if they've pulled them all back, because these controllers don't sell heavily because they're very expensive. They're a premium controller. You're talking almost $200 for a controller. But Microsoft is very helpful with fixing this problem and sending you a replacement out of the good batch, allegedly. So you should make sure you take a look at that. If you like this video, if you like what you hear about the Xbox Series X, I'm thinking of the new console. If you like what you hear about the Xbox Elite Controller Series 2, please feel free to comment below. Let me know what your thoughts are on it. Let me know what your thoughts are about the video, review, and any issues that you've had that maybe I can help you with. I'd love to be able to assist you if I've had them myself or I've seen fixes for them while I was out researching this prior to purchasing it. But if you like this video, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, hit the like button there, hit the little bell letting you know when my next video comes out. It helps me with the algorithm, helps me grow as a creator, and helps me reach people out there such as yourselves with any new products that I purchase or any new games I play or even stream, because I do stream every Monday, Thursday, and Sunday from 7 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And with that, I'm with you at Blue Unicorn Gaming. Hope you guys all have a great day, stay safe out there, and keep on gaming. I'll see you guys later.